Welcome to This Is the Place, brought to you by We Own This Town, where we discuss the ever-growing and shrinking bar and restaurant scene here in Nashville, Tennessee. I am Matt. With me is my co-host, Mickey. How you doing, man?
I'm great.
Good. So last week we went a little high-end in what we discussed. This week we've been talking about it the past couple episodes, trying to like hint at what this episode is going to be, and we went a little low end theory on this episode, and we decided we needed some additional assistance. And so with us in the studio today, we have our benevolent overlord / producer, Michael Eades,
a very special guest who's always here in spirit.
Yes.
But it's actually really here today.
Now I'm here in body.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for having me.
So excited that he went along with us on the journey that we took.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to pick up the tab.
Hey.
That's right. That's right.
This podcast makes a lot of money. Yeah. You guys pay
off
for
the
it.
chain.
Nah, I mean, I'm just,
So anyway, how's it going, Michael? How are you?
Man, it's going great. I'm excited to chat about our journeys into the depths of Nashville.
So, Mickey?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you good?
I'm
Anything we want to discuss before we...
Yeah, you want to do your regular housekeeping?
Dare I say dive into what we're going to talk about today?
Hey, as producer, I would like to remind everyone that you can follow along on the internet.
That's right, you can.
This is, okay, we're ready.
This is the place. That's THA, not THE.
Yeah.
On Instagram and Twitter.
That's right.
No Facebook.
No, not doing it.
Can people email us too? Have we been getting
at thisistheplace@gmail.com. Yes, they can if they want to email. I don't know why anybody wants to email.
How to email again?
This is the place.
Is it with
THA?
THA?
It's still keeping it all, the same across the board.
It's THA?
Yes.
No wonder Okay.
Dude.
That's fine.
Episode 10, Mickey now knows his internet.
Still in the dark about some things about this podcast.
I'm just saying, I was wondering why I wasn't getting any emails now.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. All right.
Send us those emails, folks.
Yeah. So any highlights for you, Mickey, in the last couple of weeks? Anything you want to mention?
I guess I was in another area of town, Madison, which is not very far from the downtown area. And I happened to be having I just popped into this meat and three. That's where you get one meat and 3 different side items for a little breakfast. And I'm sitting there, and it's quite a collection of people in there. I would say it was definitely old Nashville. I can't recall the name of the place. Just kind of drove by, saw that they were serving food.
That's great.
It was fine. It's because it's very neighborhoody.
Can you give me any sort of geographical markers so you can help out anybody that might want to go visit?
Not that would matter to anyone.
Okay.
Unless if you buy records, books, or what have you, there's a Great Escape in Madison. It wasn't far from it. But, I mean, basically I walk in, the first thing say, hey, honey, where you can sit anywhere, or what have you. And the first thing I see is a sign that says, do not leave your payment for your check on the table or tip or what have you. You pay at the counter.
Right.
Don't leave your money there. So I'm sitting there and I'm having my breakfast. And to my right it was a rainy, cold day outside. And to my right is like a crew of folks that are putting up light poles or what have you. And they're just having this big, long conversation. And this guy, I couldn't help but overhear him. And the guy's there talking, and he's relaying a story of he was at a bar up the street somewhere, and he's like, this woman walks over to him, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna hang out with you guys for a second. I'm trying to lose this guy. So he's like, you guys aren't gonna believe this. This guy walks over, and he's there talking to us, and he says he's from France. Now, he said Paris, Tennessee, and he's like, I really didn't. I was like, I was thinking Paris, Tennessee. He said Paris, so we're thinking Paris. And then he had this accent. He's talking to us, and we get to talk to him. We're like, why are you here? And he's like, well, there's this TV show called Nashville, and I decided to move here.
Wow. What?
The guy was shocked. I mean, he was just like, why would anybody move?
Wait, he didn't come to visit.
He moved here. He saw the TV show. There's a TV show called Nashville that's no longer airing. And he moved here, and they were just so shocked and surprised that people are coming from all over the world to be a part of this great scene here in Nashville.
And they were in Madison.
They were in Madison, and the bar was
Right, they weren't-
it was not in downtown, but this and again,
Yeah, no offense to Matt. I love Madison.
No. And the guys were relatively young. I would say they were just maybe a little bit over 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they'd never been to France or what have you, but they didn't realize that there was a postcard for our city
The
that
impact
was all over the world, and that's what's going on.
Great soap opera called Nashville.
That was quite surprising. It was not surprising for me because spend a lot of time in town, and people come here every week and every day because of what goes out.
I'll tell you why they'll move here. For the community bars.
Oh, yeah. That's
You like that transition?
Oh,
I'm
loving it.
Producer
Loving
transition there.
Community neighborhood bars.
Neighborhood bars.
Neighborhood bars. Some people might call them dive bars.
Yeah, we discussed that this episode would be our dive bar episode, and we do a tour of dive
Episode
bars.
10, dive bar.
Grand scheme would be to chop up Nashville into different zones and pick all the best dive bars from each area and then pit them against one another.
Mm-hmm.
But as we sort of went through the experience, I think we came to the realization that dive bar is kind of a pejorative and not always a nice thing to say about a place when you're when it's a place that you really like.
Yeah,
sure.
So you shouldn't call it a dive bar necessarily.
And the only person I actually call that is someone who's not from the neighborhood or familiar with the place. But we did find that some places actually call themselves
And sometimes
that.
it is a term of endearment. It's
kind of like
with some people.
But I think
with some establishments.
I don't think we ever figured out the real history of the term. But I think just from thinking about it, the dive would be like the depths, the bottom of, and the places that we went on this little tour of. I don't think they're the depths. I don't think they're
definitely not.
Really,
no.
It wasn't. You didn't.
No.
Maybe one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
We'll talk about them. We're gonna go through them.
I'm just,
All right. Okay. So we went to 5 different places. We were gonna go to 4 and then added one. I think figured out later that day we went out. We were gonna touch on one more. So we started not too early in the night, and the first place we went to was the Batter's Box.
Hermitage Avenue.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're familiar with the Hermitage Cafe, right next to it. And it looks like it could be a trailer, double wide.
Very much so is a trailer with a very nice front porch.
Yes.
Fantastic front porch. They have a view to all the hot places in Nashville. If you need a marker, you've got Crema, great coffee. You've got Pinewood Social. I mean, you're at the top of the hill. And also just at the bottom of the hill is the Ascend Amphitheater as well, too.
Yeah, I mean...
Just point of reference. Oh, and Husk in their backyard.
You're right, which is a pretty awesome dichotomy there.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
So anyway, we went to these bars and had a couple of things that we were looking at, determining what makes it a good dive bar. Is it some place that a local that lives by there would want to frequent? Is it some place that somebody from out of town would want to go to? And then just based on certain factors, didn't come up with a rating system, but had some variables that we looked at.
No 1 pint, 2 pint, Miller Lite.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we kept saying that the way to define a true dive bar was a lot like pornography, and that you'd know it when you see it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to put rules around it because as soon as you say, like, oh, it has to be around for a decade, now you've counted out Mickey's on the east side. But is that a dive bar?
Yes.
It hasn't been
yes.
but
Yes, it's a neighborhood bar.
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
the debate to
Just
be
because
real.
of the lighting does not
come on.
a place a dive
if
bar
it looks
or not.
the same at 3 p.m. and 3 a.m., it qualifies as a great neighborhood bar.
Mickey makes a solid point.
That's all I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying.
just
But it's only been around for...
It's been around long enough to
8
be
years?
strong, though. But if I can get a Bud Light on tap and then a nice frosty beer from Iceland, I don't think that would disqualify it as a dive bar.
I think the beer from Iceland actually does disqualify it.
It is,
I think so.
I have been to neighborhood bars in Iceland, and it was right in line. It was beautiful. It was a great experience.
Yeah, but those are local beers when you're in Iceland.
No, but still, I needed that beer when I got back, and it worked. So that's all I'm saying.
Well,
it took me back to that neighborhood bar, but enough about it.
So anyway, we looked at things like lighting, the smoke level, how long it seemed like it would take to get the smoke out of your clothes. They have food, what sort of payment. Anyway, you looked at various factors to determine, like, okay, does this make this a good neighborhood bar? And would we want to go back to it? So anyway, we mentioned the batter's box, first place. And Mickey, what did you think when you walked in?
It had a great feel. I mean, you could definitely see that there were some locals in the house. Yeah. First off, the music on the jukebox was amazing. And
was it a jukebox or was it a Spotify playlist?
It was absolutely a jukebox. They weren't playing their own music. There was a crew in there who just strung up the lighting for a show that was happening somewhere in town. About 13 people in there. And then there was a couple that was on something, maybe a date, I don't know. And it's cool. I mean, when you walk in on the door, it said something about, it's funny, humor helps too if you do have a bar. And there was some humor involved. I have to find what exactly it said, but it was pretty funny. Yeah, so it's a great introduction. It felt the same way it did the first time I walked in there.
So you did go and converse with someone who was sitting at the bar, and tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was just curious. I'd been there a few times, but I had no idea how long the place had been open. So
do you want to let the people hear how that went?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Well, we took a little field recorder along with us, and the fidelity is not always great, but at least we can hear a little bit of us inside of Batter's Box. Let's just play a little clip from our Batter's Box experience, which speaks very much to Mickey's ability to talk to strangers.
Just to update the listeners, Mickey is currently talking to an older gentleman at the bar who we don't know anything about, but he clearly is a regular. He's also going to chat up the bartender, who will let him know the history of the place and potentially what's on the menu. So we'll clue you back in. But Mickey is a phenomenal people person. And he can speak to anyone seated in front of or behind
It's
a bar.
amazing how just fluid it is, that he just goes right in and it doesn't matter who it is.
I have a hard time making eye contact with a stranger.
Yeah.
Mickey just
goes right for
goes right in.
Yeah. Anyway,
Let's hear Mickey's answers.
all right, go ahead.
Place has been open for 12 years.
12, much shorter than I thought.
Yes, Dano said yes. This is absolutely a dive bar. It's one of the last.
Did you say Dano?
Dano?
That's the man at the bar.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's one of the last of its kind, roadside
Vestiges
bars. Yeah. He said that it does qualify as a dive bar because we smoke here.
Yeah.
If we don't want everybody to know about it.
I think I'm going to move the scale up to 6 out of 10 on the dive bar
Did that
scale.
alter your dive bar feelings?
Yeah, I mean, I found out. Oh, the pizza's fantastic.
The pizza.
Did you eat a pizza while you were up there?
I did a lot up there. I got all my.
All right, not the greatest fidelity, but you get the gist.
Yeah, so that is one thing that is, debatable is, okay, a neighborhood bar, how many people in the neighborhood do you want going to this bar? Some people like to hold these things, it's their own kind of like open secret. The gentleman there, Dano, obviously felt that way.
Yeah, I mean, he said, you're welcome to come by. People are welcome to drop by, but really like to keep it, keep it local. But the thing is, just in the hospitality industry, that's where people go to have a drink if they want to wine in their downtown and they're working. Allegedly, it's the place that used to serve more shots of Fernet than anybody else.
That does not feel like a Fernet bar.
Why don't you just explain what that is? Just briefly, so because a lot of people won't. No, but a lot of people don't know exactly what that means.
There's nothing. It's not even a thing anymore. That's
well,
all.
it doesn't matter that it's not a thing.
I'm gonna leave it there. I'm done. I'm gonna leave it there. Refer to Jeremiah's episode for a true Fernet.
This is ridiculous. Fernet is a kind of licorice tasting liqueur that a lot of people in the service industry would drink post their shift.
Well, they would just say, like, here's to you. Like, I acknowledge that you're one of.
It was a hot thing. For the last 10 years, I think it's done now.
Done. Yeah, not so much.
Yeah,
but
that's all it is.
Yeah.
Batter's Box is not a place that you would think
it
would have
doesn't seem
Fernet.
to feel like that, but they had it. They have it.
I had several people as we were on this tour. I was posting things to Instagram, and several people responded while I was at Batter's Box, like, that place has the best pizza, best bar in Nashville. Don't tell anyone about this place.
Whoops.
So we're definitely screwing that up.
There's no potluck. That doesn't happen. So
I think there is a sign that says the pizza is awesome right next to the bar, or it says something like that.
Their own sign?
Yeah, their own sign. Yeah,
wow.
Pretty bold, but obviously there are other people that actually think that. So overall, Michael?
Yeah, I don't think it has like a super dive bar feel. It has like the neighborhood bar feel because it's pretty well lit in there. It is smoky. There's obviously a lot of locals. Apparently the food is very good. The deck is amazing. The cleanliness factor, it's clean. It's not like, the bathroom was fine. I was very into it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it at least a 7 or 8.
I like it.
Very high on the score.
I don't know if the audio that you played will be used where I said 6. I think I might actually move it up to a 7 out of 10 in terms of a neighborhood bar that I would like to go back to if I lived in that neighborhood. Yeah, I will definitely go back there regardless. On a given night.
I'm definitely going back, despite the show's attendance or not.
Yeah,
it's also like spitting distance from Ascend. So if someone's playing that you wish you could hear, go have a beer on the porch and just listen to the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, without a doubt. And if you so desire, you've been hanging out there for a while and had the pizza, but you're hungry again, you can go right next door to Hermitage Cafe. I did hear that I think it is non-smoking now, which does not sound right. Wow. But I guess
some people would disagree with you.
Yeah, but if anybody that's ever been there in the past, I think they would understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we hung out for there for a little while, had a couple drinks. Overall, I think everybody's in agreement that great neighborhood bar. So we decided to go to the next place, which was Melrose Billiards.
Yeah, all of our destinations on this one evening's journey were in the South Nashville Woodbine area, which is a zone that I don't think we've talked about that much on the show,
Not much at all.
I kind of don't think gets a lot of love in general.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do a little bit of focus there because I live in that area.
Yeah,
so
a lot of folks live over
I think
way.
Woodbine sometimes looks at itself as the bastard stepchild to like maybe East Nashville because people talk about.
Totally.
I lived in Woodbine for 10 years. I loved it. But it also often would hear like, well, this isn't, other people say, well, East Nashville has this and Woodbine doesn't have that. Anyway. Woodbine's a great place. It needs more love, definitely.
It has Batter's Box, sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe that's more of a downtown location.
Yeah. It's getting more and more good restaurants every day. So anyway, went to
Melrose Billiards. Yeah, and from the time you walk in the door, you're greeted by a big mural that says, "Come on down."
Oh yeah.
You head down the steps and you're in it.
Yeah,
you're in the mix.
So a little history of Melrose. So. I think when all of us were a bit younger, we would all visit, not necessarily together, but all of us had spent a good amount of time down there. And it is, I guess, bills itself maybe as one of the oldest dive bars in town. It says they were founded in 1944. So long history with that place. So I never thought that if you went and made that place non-smoking or put any sort of ventilating system that would do anything to get rid of the stench of smoke that was normally there. But when we went on this little tour, I was shocked.
Do you want to know how shocked you were?
How shocked?
Well, let's find out.
Okay.
Melrose Billiards, 8th Avenue.
A couple of observations right off the bat.
It's not the Melrose you remember.
It is nothing like the Melrose I remember.
It's a little like the Melrose you remember. Same setup, basically.
The bar is the same setup, but the upgrades. The one thing that I never would have imagined is the lack of smokiness in this place.
Yeah.
I thought being downstairs in a bunker, you're never going to be able to get that stale 20-year 30-year smoke stench out, and it's not like that bad.
No, when we walked in at the front door at the top of the stairs, it smelled like fresh popcorn.
It did. I did. Yeah, that's exactly what it smelled like. And I'm shocked. I mean, obviously, a shit ton of ventilating is going on right now.
Well, I think also it helps.
You're consistent.
I know. I think it's the exact same thing.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was 60 years of smoke. If they opened in 44.
That's right.
60, 70 years. I'm not good at math.
Wow. I have to be honest. That was only my second time there ever.
Really?
And that's within the last year.
What?
I was looking for a place to play darts, man, and I found it, and there was no smoking in there, and I knew about it, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
The smoking only happens after 10 p.m. now.
Yeah.
I think historically, that strip where Melrose Billiards is located right off on 8th Avenue, like there's a bunch of new stuff in there. Like this new Sutler is there. There's a bunch of condos. There's Cinema.
Yeah.
The worst named restaurant maybe in the entire city.
But when you walk in, you'll be dazzled.
But it flooded back with the Nashville flood. That place got hit hard, and then that eventually led to this change of ownership. Yeah. And they really cleaned it up. People were really upset. They thought it was going to be a tiki bar.
Right.
But the owners pretty much kept the same vibe.
Yeah. They made some changes, and I think probably changes that needed to be made.
Yeah, it's under the same umbrella as the Melrose across the street, the burger joint.
In Melrose?
In Melrose. It's that guy, yes. And
really?
That gentleman, I mean, he's responsible for a lot of firsts in Nashville. The whole craft cocktail scene and what have you. So for him to scoop this up and for it to be in his umbrella, he's hanging on and giving a little bit of old Nashville. And I would say, if you really wanted to see what it's all about, you can have the past and present in one evening. It's one drink away. So you go down to Melrose Billiards.
Don't jump to Rambler yet.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm not done with Melrose.
Keep going. Go.
I want to talk about the clientele at Melrose.
Oh, it was a Gap ad.
I mean, it was a lot of. I mean, I'm 39 years old, and there were a lot of Belmont kids there. I was one of the oldest people in the room, and I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, I don't think very few people over 30 years old in that place. And maybe that's because the condos that are sitting on top of the building now, and
you're
next
saying
door
Belmont's
to it,
a block away.
Yeah, well, I mean, so a handful of universities, you're just a few blocks over.
Which is fine. I mean, great for the bar. Is it a neighborhood bar or is it a college bar now?
It's absolutely a neighborhood spot.
Okay.
Interesting. I mean, it's debatable, but it does have a ton of pool tables. It's got ping pong tables. It used to have shuffleboards. I don't know if they have that anymore.
And their shuffleboard is still there, and dartboard over in the corner. There's a couple.
We're edging into sports bar territory.
No, dive. Well, I mean, billiards is in the title, so they have to have some activities for people to do. I mean, you don't have.
But the music that was being played, it definitely.
There was a jukebox.
There was a jukebox?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
One of those internet jukeboxes.
And they were playing what they were. They were definitely...
Which fits the crowd.
Yeah, it worked. It worked.
And it was fine. It just was... I had not been there in at least a couple of years, and I was pretty surprised at the change in clientele. I mean, and like I said, for the better for that bar. That's great.
Absolutely.
That they're having that crowd and drawing that crowd in. But...
that crowd, that's okay. Hopefully that crowd is listening to this, so you're okay. The kids are okay. That's all I'm saying. The kids are okay. No, but just.
I mean, there are some bars I go to when I feel like the oldest person that I leave. I don't like feeling that way, but I did not feel that way at Melrose. I felt like no one gave a shit that I was there, and there weren't any judgy eyes like, who's this old dude?
Yeah, totally.
It was cool. It was great.
Everybody was doing their own thing.
Yeah,
it was fine. And if anybody gets out of hand, there still is the samurai sword above the bar. You never know when that needs to be used.
As far as what they're serving, one thing that really kind of surprised me, I don't know if it's always been this way, but they have 40s.
Yeah.
There was a guy standing around with a 40, and you can get a 40 at the bar.
I can appreciate that.
That was very cool.
Yeah, they give away fresh popcorn.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So if you just need a snack, you got free popcorn there.
Yeah.
You can have a 40.
Great food too. I mean, they have chili cheese fries. They have the Hawaiian 5-0, which features Spam, if you're not familiar with that.
I am.
And Frito pie, and they've got a great burger again because they're connected with that.
So I'm a little Not sure on how I would rate this personally. As far as just a great neighborhood bar, I would say, yeah, it's a good 6 out of 10. I'm fine with that. However, in terms of a local bar, I think I would take it a couple notches down.
I think I agree with you, but I think we messed up because we went on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I think if we went on a Tuesday night, our feelings would be very different in terms of...
True.
Because it was just packed in there. I mean, it was like a Saturday night out, of course.
It's a big place.
It's a really big place, and it was pretty full.
Yeah.
But if we were there on a Tuesday night and it was past 10 p.m., I bet it would be pretty dead in there, and it would have way more of that vibe that I think we're looking for.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. So anything else that you want to talk about, Melrose?
All that I can say is, like I said, the past and present.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and get into that?
So if you happen to be there and it's not your scene, you can make a quick exit, literally.
Yeah, like a back alley.
Yeah,
out of the bar
doorway.
That's an alley.
Just follow the neon. But there's a new place on the scene here, craft cocktail bar. I believe that's what they're calling themselves, and it is called the Rambler, and it's located in the bottom of the Settler.
Do you remember? Was it just called the Downstairs Settler prior to the Rambler? I went down there one time, and
I think it had a name.
It did have a name. Okay. It was kind of
totally
clubby,
different vibe.
whatever, but yeah.
I thought. I
actually liked it.
Yeah, I liked what was down there before. I mean, it was very craft cocktail, very speakeasy, dark.
Yeah, it was more of that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
The Rambler, on the other hand,
what DJ? I can't wait to hear what you say. I feel like it's the same vibe.
I don't think it's the same vibe. I feel like it was honestly like it kind of reminded me of like Peach Pit After Dark.
Whoa! Like, explain what is that?
Like the neon R and the lighting just seemed very like mid 90s to me. I did not enjoy that place.
Cool. Yeah. I think it's good that we should be critical of places.
Yeah,
that we didn't have a nice time in.
Not to say that their drinks. Their drinks could be fine. I thought the menu was fine. The drink list was fine, but the vibe itself was, I thought, trying too hard and kind of missing.
Yeah, it definitely had like that. I think it still had a clubby feel to it.
Yeah,
there was like literally a DJ doing his thing there with the 8 other people,
and his thing may have been looking at his Facebook page.
Maybe so. But I thought the cocktail I had was good. I kind of liked the way the bar was dressed. Everyone that worked behind the bar was like super friendly and forthcoming. Like, I don't know. I think I had a better experience than you there.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, that was just my initial, when I went in there, that was my initial thought. And
granted, it was late, and the music, I don't know what the DJ was doing. It wasn't really loud. I don't even know if he was DJing. It was really odd.
What'd you think?
I mean, it is what it is.
No, you got to give a yay or nay.
I give it a. You know what I mean?
Wow,
if you're gonna get a cocktail, I mean, on that particular side of town, it is a place to go to do that.
It's an option.
It's the new kid in town, even though it's been around for a while. Down below, it is the new kid over there, and that's all I know. But other than that, I don't know very much about it. I mean, I was there, popped in. I do know on Tuesday nights, there's a band that plays up at top. There's a cover band, and they have quite a draw. But
the Cellar?
Yeah. They have stuff
we're not
going
to
on.
talk about that.
I'm just letting you know. Just saying that there's things that go on.
I think,
but for a cocktail in that area, pop in and have one and see how it goes. You know what I mean? Because if it doesn't work out,
it is.
You got next door, and it's a little.
I think we're on a dive bar tour or a neighborhood bar tour, and this was way outside of that.
Yeah, we classed it up. I agree.
We got a little sidetracked.
I'm sorry about that.
So
guys.
I think that colors.
We just popped over really to see what it was, and I think you're right.
That's cool.
I'm willing to give it a second chance if I'm in the area.
I want to see you do a craft cocktail tour of 8th Avenue.
Would you borrow some money?
Would you rather go to
8th
cinema?
Avenue? There's no, it's the same. It's exactly the same. There's not much.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Moving along.
You don't have to do that. That's all I'm saying.
We need to move along here. So the next place we went to was Rosie's Twin Kegs in the heart of Woodbine, right?
That is correct.
Right? Okay, yeah.
I like that you don't remember.
Hey, it was
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure of where the order. Anyway, so I definitely have a history with that place because, as I mentioned earlier, I lived in Woodbine for quite a while, and it has gone through several iterations. Probably the first time I went there was in 2005, and when I went in, it was obvious that I was not welcome because there was a poker game going on at one of the two long tables, and I don't know what was going on with the bar at that time, if they even wanted people.
A true neighborhood bar.
Yeah, like a true neighborhood bar. It's changed a lot since then. It's changed hands a couple of times since then. One thing that has stuck around has been the smoking. They've been doing karaoke for quite a while. And it definitely has a good neighborhood vibe. When we went in there, it seemed like it was locals.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't packed.
Yeah.
It was
good vibe in there.
It was obviously
good.
Everybody walked in the door. It was their destination. They came to play.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. It was the guy at the bar when we walked up to get our drinks was like extremely chatty.
And explain exactly what went on there.
Yeah. I didn't even talk to that guy.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
But yeah, he yeah.
But yeah, the bartender was super nice. The people in there were obviously having a blast.
Yeah.
It was extremely loud in there. For the number of people that were in there, the volume was intense.
Not a lot of buffer, a lot of concrete, and the karaoke manager or whatever.
Yeah, the karaoke manager, he had the volume up, and they were, like I said, they came to play. The patron at the bar was like, "You're gonna sing a song," and and we did have one person participate who actually sang a song.
There was one person that did.
Brought the fire. As they say.
Let's see how that kind of thing goes. Mickey and I are not karaoke people, so that only leaves one person.
Well, we forgot to mention somebody else did pop in.
Wait, do we have someone else on the line here? I see the line blinking. No, just go ahead and play. We're gonna not get to him on the phone.
You're gonna love this.
We should have guessed this. Yeah. That means AC/DC.
He's wearing the right hat.
Oh, yeah.
I used to think this song was AC/DC in the Thunder Jeep. When I was a kid, and it was on the radio and I was sleeping. And it just sounded like the most badass Jeep. TNT, Dynamite, Thunder Jeep.
Thunder Jeep.
Here it goes.
Come on, man.
I need a knuckle grind. Dirty D, Thunder Jeep. Dirty D, Thunder Jeep. Dirty D, Thunder Jeep. Dirty D, Thunder Jeep.
I wanted to save the full song for my personal archive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well done, Matt.
Who you heard talking at the beginning of that was our friend Mac, who just happened to be in town and popped in and joined us at Melrose, and then joined us for the rest of the evening.
He's not on the phone?
No, he's not on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought he was calling in today.
The beauty of the neighborhood bar, just bring somebody along.
Yeah.
Throw them
always,
out.
Always.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this place that I used to frequent a lot, I think sometimes it just depends on the night. Sometimes I've been there when it's completely packed, and like that night that we went, it was sparse. I mean, there was a decent amount of people. It's a small place, so it doesn't take much to fill it up. But I think on any given night, you might not know what you're going to get when you go there. I do have to say, like some other neighborhood bars, once it starts to get cold, some places can be a little cold inside, and I don't know if that dictates where you want to go or not.
It's true. I only have one question.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned what it was like the first time you walked in the place.
Yeah.
Do you think you showed him who's boss now? I think you owned it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I absolutely think you owned it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, thanks. So, what, Michael?
Well, I was going to say a little housekeeping. Rosie's Twin Kegs is located at Nolensville Road and Harding Place, kind of over by 100 Oaks, across the street from the Dunkin' Donuts, if you're familiar. There's a bunch of restaurants over that way, and it's been there for forever. and it's very easy to drive past. Like if you're not really looking for it, you might just like zip right
There's a
past.
Shoney's right beside it.
There's a
Shoney's. You did say, Duncan, it's actually Krispy
Oh, it's a
Kreme.
crispy. Oh.
An original Krispy
I think that's the
Kreme.
original. I
That's
think
a
that's
whole
the first.
other thing.
Wow.
They're many. and
Fortunately,
it's one of
as
the
producer, I will edit that mistake out.
Yeah,
But,
so it's been around for 4 decades apparently. I didn't know it's been around that long.
wow.
So there you
knew?
go.
I
One of
recommend
the
it.
criteria.
Go. Go. Do it. Run.
No,
Rush.
I give 8 out of 10. Neighborhood bar. I mean,
8 is very high, but you know,
it was
For the-
7.5.
for the entertainment value, I would give it an 8. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's who you go with that makes it the place to be. So,
yeah.
And they have a good range of beer options. They do have just your typical lagers and pilsners, and they also do have actually now a decent amount of craft beers to
Lighting
choose from.
Lighting was low. Smoke level was kind of low. I've never eaten there.
I have had the burger there before.
Yeah, and they're absolutely about the
is good.
burgers.
Yeah.
They have burger specials throughout the week and what have you. So if you're looking for a bite to eat, they can take care of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're known for the burger.
All right. Well, then I'll go back.
And you never know. You might be able to pick up a ladder.
Oh,
that's
the infamous
that's
ladder
another story
for another day.
You can find that on.
That
Yeah,
was a long time ago.
okay.
Anyway, so moving along.
Yeah.
I think everybody,
As we continued on in the
moving
evening,
forward?
it was getting a bit late.
We decided that the final spot, what we thought would be the final spot of our tour, should be Santa's Pub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
why not?
frosty outside. Why not?
It's almost December. It's it's the right spot to go to at 1 in the morning. We thought.
So we, of course, we're taking a lift everywhere, and we roll up, and the first thing is there's a cover charge.
Yep, $5 cover to get in the door.
Did not know
That was not always that way.
there was a cover charge. I can only assume it's on the weekends. Hopefully, I don't know if there is a cover charge during the week. A bit surprised by that, but really not that surprised once we walked in.
Yeah. I went to Santa's when it initially opened about 8 years ago, and it was very much locals, very quiet. They did do karaoke, but it was, it was like a family affair. It was like lots of room to move around in there.
Sure.
And over the years, it has really found some massive popularity. I don't know if it's the kitsch factor. I don't know if it's because it's location, if it's a combination of all those things.
It's gotta be what they say. They say it's a great place to meet friends. That's what it says. That's what they say about it. You got cold beer, and it's always a warm place to hang out, as they say.
I mean, I have lots of positive things to say about that establishment, and I've had many good times there. But I did not enjoy myself on Saturday because it was so packed.
And to me, I mean, it looked like you could have picked it up and put it down on Broadway, and there wouldn't have been that much difference in terms of the clientele that looked like there was there. I'm being
it's hard.
truthful.
It's hard to be critical.
I'm not being critical.
I mean,
I'm just
there's
being
no-
honest of what it was on that weekend night that we went there.
My only suggestion would be mix up the nights that you go there. I mean,
fair.
Sure.
because everybody who was there was absolutely having a great time. Seemed like we were too.
Yeah.
All right. that's
Observing
fair.
what was going
Yeah,
on.
we did.
Sure.
I mean,
No, we
and
did
it
have-
just, it felt like something was definitely happening there.
But
it
is
was a
that
bit
how it
crowded.
is?
We were like right by the bar. There was no way we could have gotten into the main room. And main room, it's not that big. It's
Yeah.
a double wide
I mean,
trailer.
it's a double
It's
wide
a trailer, so and it's not that big. But the folks that own the place, they were really warm, really inviting.
The best.
And it was pretty cool.
I don't know if locals want to get pictures with Santa. Like I saw several when Santa came in, several groups of people were taking pictures with Santa.
I didn't even see a Santa Claus. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, the owner looks like Santa.
Oh, I didn't.
You didn't see him?
I did not.
Oh, yeah, he
You
was
were
there.
watching the Bohemian Rhapsody guy.
No, I was.
It's
that
a really
did
good
happen.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That did happen, and wow, yeah.
All I'm saying is, like, to me, it seemed like that it was a lot more potential. I mean, it could be locals, but
I would say again, check it out on a different night because it is quite a bit goes on there.
I think that's fair. I think we went there looking for a kind of quiet, smoky, not super active bar, because that's what we've kind of wrapped our brains into thinking what a neighborhood bar is. And this is not that, but it is a good place to go.
Yeah, sure, without a doubt.
I can hear the chuckles in the background. They're saying Nashville, quiet, not bar on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, look. I get that,
I'm just
but
saying.
I mean, Santa's might be like that on a Wednesday night too. Well, maybe we need to go see. I mean, it very well
Definitely
could
check
be
it
like
out,
that at this point.
I'll go back. I mean, and a lot of people they go there. It is a destination for folks at various different times.
If you do go,
it's fun.
and
It's a lot of fun.
and you haven't been before, it is cash only.
Oh yeah, they do have an ATM outside, but it is Don't try to start a tab. Be ready to pay.
Located right by the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And it's a blast. If you're going there to like have a ruckus of a time, it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, people were super into the karaoke. Everybody looked like they were having a great time.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
It's a good time.
Except for this curmudgeonly old group in the corner.
Well, just one guy. just one
Mickey
guy.
is pointing at me, but. You know, I did have a blast. The guy broke into Bohemian Rhapsody, and the entire place erupted in sing along, which is wonderful.
Yeah, it was great.
It's true.
Yeah, that was fun. So we wrapped up the evening by going to the last place on the list, and the name of that place is 10 Dog Tavern, which is really not too far from Santa's.
Wait, I feel like you just described it perfectly.
I think that what we were looking for was a empty place that we could talk, that was a little dark lit. I don't want to use the term run down, but man, 10 Dog has a garagey feeling.
It's seen some shit. I mean, I think 10 Dog and its form or owner has been around for 3 years, but if you've driven by that building, so if you're just driving down 4th Avenue right before the fairgrounds, you'll see 10 Dog on the right. And I mean, I can only guess it's been around for 50, 60 years, that building.
Maybe the building,
the building stuff. It's been around for a while, but there've been no upgrades, no anything.
Except maybe additional wall decor.
I don't know. It was...
There was literally one patron in there.
No. There were 2 patrons.
Oh, 2 patrons.
Yes, there were 2 patrons.
So we more than doubled the number of people there. This was like, 2 a.m. It's late, so that's fine. I'm surprised that the Wedgwood Houston crowd hadn't made their way over there, but they might later in the evening.
Again, I think it might only be a during the week thing, or the folks that's where they go have their days off.
Yeah.
All at those hot happening places that they're working. I don't know. It was...
I'm very curious to hear what you guys grade 10 Dog Tavern on the scale, because for me...
Do you want me to go ahead and say it?
Yeah.
A 10 out of 10.
Yes, agreed. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it was my favorite place. I don't necessarily had like the best time. I had a great time at all the places, but in terms of what I was looking for a neighborhood bar, it had everything.
Was it a surprise factor? It was
a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd never been there before, so maybe I'd been to all the other places before. Maybe that had something to do with it. But I mean, I thought it was great. I definitely want to go there a little earlier in the evening and hang out with friends. The thing I thought about is when I lived on the east side in Slow Bar, I used to go to Slow Bar all the time. And when I was there, I was like, yeah. If I was younger and I lived over here, this would be my Slow Bar. I would come here all the time.
Yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. In terms of the criteria that we're looking at to define a neighborhood/dive bar, nailed it.
Yeah, it hit all the right notes. Agreed.
Yeah. The woman who was running it was great.
Super funny, cool. When it was time to go, she let us know. Didn't mess around. Yeah. Kicked us right out of there.
Kicked us right out of there, as well she should have.
Oh, and the classic country was spot on.
Yeah. The music was great.
And there was a jukebox.
I think out of our whole list of places, the one that I'm most likely to spend time at is Batter's Box.
Yeah.
Like, that would be my... If I had to pick one of these, I'm only allowed to return to one of these ever again. I'm going to pick Batter's Box.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
But 10 Dog, crushed it in the
yeah, I thought so. I was really, really happy we ended the night there. That was just really capped off a fun night.
And then you waited 35 minutes for a lift to arrive.
God, that's the only thing.
Plan accordingly.
Well, know the train
Uber
schedule.
Lyft. Yeah. That's impossible.
That crosses
to know.
4th Avenue.
It's so impossible, but yeah.
Any last thoughts on the first inaugural dive bar, neighborhood bar excursion?
Yeah, who won that?
Who won it?
Who won? Of all these, who's the winner?
Well, you heard what I said.
You said 10 Dog's the winner. All right. You think
it'd probably be the dog.
All right, 10 Dog.
Yeah. I mean, Batter's Box, close second. I mean, I definitely liked Batter's Box a lot. Could see going back there again. But
I want this to be a series.
Yeah, so this was, like you said, this was the south side. We will see where we go next, north, west, or east.
Yeah.
To be determined.
If you have a dive bar that you want us to visit and think that it can do better than 10 Dog Tavern,
or the Batter's Box,
throw us send us a suggestion.
I'm sure they're out there.
You've got an email address that no one's written to yet. So.
No. Oh, God, please
send us an email.
All right. So remember, eat up, drink up, and if anybody asks, this is the place to be. We'll see you next time.
To cry, I'm not back again this time tomorrow. Carry on, carry on.
Incredible karaoke song.